listening to Not So Live from Asteroid G. I'm Mike Finkelstein. With me, as always, is
the not so profitable Josh Schaefer.
You charge $10 a month and give half the content you're supposed to.
I give none of the content I'm supposed to.
Your poor wife. Today we are going to be talking about streaming services. Most namely the fact that I find it amusing and a little sad and kind of obnoxious. That in the news, we've had recently reports that various streaming services are going to start charging more money for what they do by a couple bucks here or there, and B, produce less content as a way of making that money seem worthwhile. Like, I get that most of the streaming services are losing money, but that's what you get when people decide to launch like 20 streaming services during COVID, all to compete with each other, and then to divvy up their content so there's only a few good things on each of them, you know?
Mm-mm.
So yes, streaming services, they annoy the shit out of me. I liked it. So let's be clear. I liked the idea behind streaming services when it was Netflix and Hulu and maybe one other guy that I didn't subscribe to. Because you got basically everything you wanted between Netflix and Hulu that was being shown on TV, and then the stuff that Netflix and Hulu were producing as well. Like, it was perfect. I'd spend $20, $30, and I wouldn't need cable anymore because I just had the internet. It was great. We don't have that anymore.
Really don't.
We really don't. You want to watch CBS programs, you can only get them on Paramount. You want to watch ABC's programs, you can only really get them on Disney, maybe Hulu, but usually just Disney. Fox isn't always Fox isn't always on Hulu. NBC is now only on Peacock. Netflix doesn't have any of those and is only producing their stuff, which most of the time is unwatchable anyway because they only let it run for half a season and then cancel it. And everyone HBO Max is good. I actually liked HBO Max. I thought it was one of the best ones. And now because they've merged with Discovery, they're killing all their shit and aren't going to produce nearly as much content as they used to. So you're sitting there going, what's the point of having all of these?
Like, I'm trying to think of a way to make it more viable.
Okay.
And I've been trying to think about this, like, since we talked about what topic we were discussing today. And I can't think it. Honestly, do you know what I think the most viable option is?
What?
To go back to TV.
A lot of people are doing that. They're starting to like plug antennas in and starting to do that, which I'm like, okay, that's a bit too far for me. That's
Yeah, I'm still not going to do that. But they oversaturated their own market with stupid stuff.
You want to know the one streaming service that's actually still viable right now and is actually making money? Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it's pretty cheap for what you get. I think we pay $20 a month or so, and we get HBO Max, Disney Plus, Hulu. I think we get ESPN, but I only watch hockey, and I don't really watch it too much. And yeah, that's 4 channels for the price that Netflix wants to be.
Yeah, I know that you can do like an Amazon Prime bundle and get like Paramount and HBO wrapped in, and it's like
we have Prime too. Yeah, maybe that's where our HBO's at.
It's a few bucks more to get that, and I know Disney has the $20 special where you get them plus Hulu plus ESPN. But as far as like just single services on their own, Hulu is the only one that's making money, and it's of course the one that Disney is sitting there going, maybe we'll just shut this down. Like, really, guys, I actually like Hulu.
Yeah.
But Hulu was always
Hulu.
Yeah, it was always a great proposition, especially back in the day when it was founded by ABC, NBC, and Fox. So you had 3 broadcast networks and all their content dumped on there. Like, it was actually a great value proposition and the only way to like fight Netflix. You guys want to keep fighting Netflix, you need to combine yourselves together, not keep splitting apart.
Yeah.
Because like, I was thinking about it. The last time I actively watched something on Netflix was months ago. I can't even remember what the show was. I think I watched in January that Kaleidoscope, which was terrible. And I only watched it because it was there and I had nothing better to do, which is kind of how I feel about Netflix. It's the thing you watch when you have nothing better to do.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I watched anything on Netflix.
See? Yeah. Like, I pay for Paramount so I can get Star Trek. But they said that they're probably going to produce less Star Trek over the next few years. And I was sitting there like, well, then I'm just not going to pay for Paramount. Like, what's the point? I pay for Disney Plus primarily for the MCU and Star Wars shows. And they're sitting there going, well, we're not going to produce as many of those anymore. So again, Why am I paying for you all the time if you're not going to give me the stuff that I want all the time? The only one that is actually like, yeah, we're just going to keep producing stuff until they shut us down is Hulu. And I got to tell you, I'm going to keep Hulu around because Hulu's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, and then Amazon. Amazon doesn't care if they make money or not because they make all their money off of sales and shipping.
Yeah. Well, Amazon, like, their business model is really interesting because, from what I understand, it's not really profitable per se, but they make billions of dollars somehow.
Yeah. Well,
So,
the video
yeah.
is a benefit. They don't view it as the thing that has to make the money because
No, yeah, they don't care.
no, it's a
Which is why their content's usually pretty decent.
yeah, it's a benefit for their member subscriptions. The point is to get A, you to pay for their member subscriptions, and B, to say they have a ton of members so they can then charge all their sellers a bunch more money on the back end. Like, we're just the thing that they sell to their sellers. The fact that they're giving us programming to keep us locked in is the only reason why they have that there. They don't actually care about what they broadcast, so they just kind of let their people do whatever they want. Despite the fact that they spent billions of dollars for Rings of Power, I think they could have just been happy with it whether or not it actually was a success. Because again,
Yeah.
their business model is different.
But I really don't like Amazon though.
I know. I know. I gotta tell you, there's not a lot that's on there that I actually care about watching. Like, what's the? I'm trying to think. Besides Invincible, okay, so it's Invincible and The Boys, and I can't say I really enjoy The Boys. I just kind of watch The Boys.
I enjoyed the first season, but now it's the same thing that happened with the comic book. I'm kind of over the story.
Yeah, I get you. I
Like,
feel that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Um, and then what? There's the Jack Ryan verse and the Reacher verse, and I can't really say like Amazon's program is basically entertaining dads sitting on their couch wanting to go America. Fuck yeah!
yeah,
It's dad rock of TV streamers.
yeah.
Hmm. But I can't remember and the problem is the fact that I actually enjoy some of the stuff that networks are going to say they're going to produce less of. I really enjoy a lot of the Star Trek that's out there, except for Picard. And I don't want them to
Yeah.
make. Yeah, I don't
Season
want.
3 seems okay.
It's fine. It's better than the previous two, but I'm still sitting there going, this doesn't really feel like a next generation reunion, which is what you guys want. It feels like a next generation movie reunion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Which the next gen movies weren't good, aside from First Contact.
First Contact was good enough, but it pales in comparison to the best of the original movies.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, like if Paramount stops making so many Star Treks, like say they switch it from what are they doing 4 a year right now, and they go down to 2, like the value proposition isn't there anymore. I don't care about Yellowstone. I'm not a 60-year-old man who wants to relive my glory days of being a cowboy.
Right. I tried to watch it because I had some coworkers at my old job that really loved it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get into it. I also like Kevin Costner is fine. Yeah. I don't hate him. Yeah. I loved him in Waterworld. But
the only person will say that.
And I'm not joking. I love Waterworld. You know that.
I know.
And I can say it's not a happy childhood memory because I recently rewatched Waterworld and it holds up.
There you go.
For what it is. No, it's brilliant. That's what it is. It's Mad Max without the racism and chaps.
But I like the chaps.
Well, who doesn't?
Chaps.
But I'm not a big Kevin Costner fan, and it's nothing he's done. Like, he's not Mel Gibson level of hatred or anything.
Yeah,
but
he's there.
He's just there.
He's America's blandest action hero.
Yeah, like Gone with the Wolves was okay. Field of Dreams was okay. What did I say?
Gone with the Wolves.
Frankly, Kevin, I don't give a damn. Jesus. Rat.
She makes the dress and then she starts to howl.
I feel like we accidentally invented a furry crossover of some sort.
I gotta tell you, as awful as that would be, I would watch this movie.
I would too. Well, this podcast's over. It's been great. You've been listening to Not So Live with Asteroid G.
We will never top this. We will just never top this. Oh my god. No, but I'm with you. Like, I've watched a lot of his stuff, and I'm just like, wow, you are so high on your own supply, dude.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, no, like, I'm trying to think about what's on Paramount other than Star Trek that I care about, and there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. So if they decide that they're going to go down to like 2 shows a year, let's say that they decide that they want to do Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks. And don't get me wrong, I will watch the shit out of Strange New Worlds and out of Lower Decks. They're fantastic. But once each of those seasons ends, I'm canceling my subscription until the next one picks up because there's just nothing else on there that I give a shit about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel kind of the same way about Disney. If they decide that they've said they're only going to do a couple MCU shows a year, and I don't even know. Like, I know they have like the Acolyte and they have Ahsoka in production for Star Wars, but let's say that they decide they're going to delay those because their fucking plan with Star Wars is always stupid. If they delay those till next year and they're only doing 2 MCU shows this year, and I don't have kids that have to make me watch Disney Plus all the time. As soon as one of those shows is over, I'm going to stop watching for a little while until the next thing I want is on, and I'll just cancel my subscription for a few months. Because I got Hulu and I got everything I need, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, people have been telling me I need to get into Apple TV and watch that like for a month or two, and I'm just like, another streaming service? Do I have to?
What sucks though is Apple, out of all of them, has the best original programming. Like, and I hate saying it, but
Apple?
it's because I you know how I don't like Apple
I
too
don't know.
much,
I know
but
you were in the Apple ecosystem, and then you managed to divorce yourself from it, and you're like, why was I in this?
it was awful. The second, like, it was fine until my MacBook Pro broke. That was MacBook Pro broke. That's hard to say. But yeah, and then it was like, oh, so I was a great customer until I'm need to buy new stuff, and then it's like, oh, now your phone won't work with the blah 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 blah.
Yeah, no, that's how they get you.
And yeah, so I was like, well, you know what? I'll just go back to Android. It was a better phone anyway.
It was.
The only reason I had my MacBook was because of Final Cut Pro, and if I can't use that anymore because I don't want to spend $4,000 on a laptop, done.
They get you in their ecosystem and they don't let you go. Which, I mean, is, in fairness, that's every tech company. As soon as you're in their ecosystem, like all the Sony douche bros that are way into the PlayStation. I was going, how much of this is because you're actually into the PlayStation, and how much of this is because you've had every PlayStation up till now, and you just can't conceivably think about going with a different system?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in the Sony ecosystem.
You are.
But,
I know you are.
And I'm fighting them hardcore because, don't get me started. We'll have a whole podcast about how much I'm mad at Sony right now.
The only ecosystem I'm still dedicated to is Nintendo, and that's primarily because they literally have stuff that no one else does. Like, Zelda Breath of the Wild is a game that, even as much as everyone else has tried to clone it, no one has managed to find the brilliance of that game the way Nintendo did it. So, like, it's games like that that keep me in there, but it helps that Nintendo also makes some of the cheapest systems around. So you're like, well, I'm stuck in their ecosystem, but you know what? It's actually a price value. I can just live with this. And then I go buy an Xbox anyway because I don't want to be a Sony douche bro, you know?
Yeah.
So, but like, this is my issue is I liked the day, and I'm going to sound old, maybe, but I liked the days when I could just rely on a couple or three streaming services that had almost everything I wanted. Like, not everything. I didn't have CBS shows when it was just Netflix and Hulu, but I had most of what it was. And at the time, CBS was doing exactly what Paramount did. You know, oh, look, I'm a 60-year-old man who wants to relive my glory days of being a cop or being a cowboy or being a surgeon. Let's go watch this, like, cozy comfort stuff on CBS so I can fall asleep to it on my couch. That's their programming, like, to a T. I could live without that. The only thing I care about from CBS is Star Trek. So, like, yeah. So, like, the second that CBS doesn't have Star Trek for me, I could give a shit less about CBS, frankly. But there was a point where I could just watch most everything I wanted on 2 streaming services, and it was fucking great. We've lost that, and we're never getting it back, frankly.
Yeah.
But now, instead of having that, we have to have 8 streaming services charging us each twice as much as Netflix and Hulu first charged me. And the value proposition isn't there. I have to actually think about what I want to pay for, when I want to do it, and actually manage my streaming services. And it's just fucking inconvenient. And while I won't pirate, at this point, it's at the point where I'm sitting there going, I can understand why people pirate.
Yeah, well, honestly, like, this is an illegal admission, but I may or may not have access to Apple shows on some streaming service because I'm not paying any additional money to streaming services. I'm just saying, like, hypothetically speaking, it might be something that I do. Hypothetically, I definitely do not have an Apple
No,
account.
in reality, Not So Life from Asteroid G does not endorse the use of piracy tools in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, like I can understand why in this hypothetical situation you would, because fucking hell, I don't want streaming services charging me $200 a month. You know?
Yeah, I don't either.
No, it's ridiculous. I'd be paying more to watch everything than I was paying for cable back in the fucking day. No. The whole point of these things was to break cable, not remake cable.
Yeah, and all that. And I think I figured it out. I'm spending more now on streaming services and internet than I did when I just had basic cable TV with all the channels I wanted, with a DVR that recorded all the stuff I wanted on TV, and yeah, and I'm like, and it's like substantially cheaper too. Like,
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, like when I was paying for cable, I think I was paying for $90, like $90 a month, and I'd argue with Comcast every year to make sure I maintained my $90. You know, you can just do that. And be like, I'm going to leave. And I'm like, oh, well, I'll give you the same deal again then. All right, cool. And then maybe $20 extra for the Comcast DVR TiVo whatever bullshit they had. So $110 for all of the stuff anytime I want. I just set my DVR and just let it record, and it just goes. And then I got quote unquote streaming on demand when I wanted it, more or less. If I really liked something, I'd keep it in the TiVo. If I didn't like it, I'd just delete it, and it was fine, and whatever, And mostly my thing just filled up with old episodes of The West Wing because I like The West Wing. That was my thing. But like now, Netflix is $20 because I'm paying for the 4K version, and I share it with people. And fuck you, Netflix. I'm going to keep sharing it with people because I pay for 4 accounts on one system.
Right.
I pay for Hulu, which I think I'm paying $12 a month for that. I pay for Paramount, which is $10. HBO is like $15. Prime is $10-ish a month, but you have to pay for it all in a year. There's something else. Disney Plus is what, $15 now? Like, we're already well past the $110 I was paying for before, and I still don't have everything. I don't have Peacock. I don't have Apple TV. I don't have Shudder, and a few of the other ones I would actually kind of like.
Yeah.
I would love to have Shudder and get all those horror movies on there.
Yeah,
but I already,
which it actually seems cool for you, but it's too much.
No. It's like with you and ESPN. I would skip ESPN and I would get Shudder instead if I could build the perfect package, and I would pay $100 if I could just bundle all these fucking things together. Don't get me wrong. I would willingly pay that to just have it be an all-in-one bundle and pick and choose the things that I wanted out of it. Get me my Shudder and get me Cinemax and Showtime and HBO and a couple of the other ones that I care about this month, and just let them stream in through my thing. Fucking great. But I can't do that. And now I'd have to pay to get everything I want way more for way less. And it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes me old or stingy or just where everyone else is right now. But streaming TV sucks.
I think you're well past the point of being a curmudgeon.
Meow.
But no. The stereotype is true.
Oh my god, I am the curmudgeon-y old Jew now. No.
Yeah. No, you're not Larry David yet. Don't worry. But if I see you wearing like dad jeans with like dad shoes with a tucked-in polo, we might have some words.
You know what? I don't
we'll
know.
have an intervention.
I don't even know what counts as a dad jean at this point because I'm old enough now that like loose baggy carpenter pants may be the dad thing at this point because that's what people wore when I grew up.
So funny thing about that, like I still wear like the not baggy but kind of baggy jeans that older millennials like us wear.
Yeah.
You know, like not super baggy like Jinkos or anything, but like comfy, loose fitting jeans.
Yeah.
The kids at school, because we can wear jeans on Fridays.
Yeah.
the kids at school make fun of my jeans because they're too baggy. And
What?
I'm like, yeah, and I, like you've seen me wearing jeans. They're not that baggy, but
No.
they're like, Mr. Schaefer, like I can't see the tongues of your shoes, man. What socks you wearing? I'm like, why is this a topic of conversation? Like back in my day, the pants that you guys were wearing were what the nerds wore. There's a whole character named Steve Urkel that wore those jeans. And
High waters. Yeah, you're wearing the wrong jeans, fuckers.
yeah, like you are. And then I'm like, I am the old man now.
Well, I mean, if we want to be like that, back in my day, you couldn't see the tongues of my shoes because I was wearing combat boots.
Yeah.
Like
The-
that was the '90s fashion: loose
I
pants,
had the combat boots too, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and then a super loose T-shirt with a flannel over it.
Mhm.
You wore the
Yeah.
frumpiest.
Oh, you were
shit
more
you could.
grungy than me.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was deep in grunge when I finally got into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was more the punk alt thing, you know, the
Mhm.
spiky collars and wrist bracelets and ball chains and stuff like that. Wallet chains were big too.
Oh, I mean, I still have my wallet chain.
You still have a wallet chain, which I have no idea where you even find them at, but
Just buy them online. Amazon has
Hmm.
them.
Sponsored by Amazon.
I hate Amazon, but Amazon has this. No, you just buy them online. It's easy. I mean, that's where I get most of my stuff. I couldn't find carpenter pants around at most stores because they sell the fucking slim cut bullshit that grabs your crotch, and I'm like, no, dude, I do not need something grabbing my crotch all day. Thank you very much. I want to feel the breeze down there. So
Yeah, right.
today on Too Much Information on Asteroid G. But no, like carpenter pants and a loose T-shirt and a flannel. I will still rock that because that's just comfortable, and I don't understand this tight-fitting slim cut shit because like I didn't understand it back in the day. Like, no, I don't want to like show myself off. I want to hide in my clothes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the term moose knuckle should not exist. Like, I mean, arguably either should camel toe, but yeah. Mm.
I'm not showing off my package that way. You gotta buy me dinner first. Anyway, but so getting it back on track though, I can't be the only one that's upset about the way that the streaming service thing is. I'm like, and we were talking a few weeks ago about like millennials, no, zennials now or whatever the fuck they're called, the Gen Z, the NFT generation. How they're not really watching TV anymore. And at the time, we were sitting there going, "Well, they'll come around to eventually." But I'm sitting there going, "Man, if they have to pay $200 a month for streaming every month, like, the fuck are they gonna pay that for? No, they'll just go and watch YouTube where it's free.
Yeah, well, for now.
I mean, long as it remains free, YouTube, like, I'll just keep watching YouTube, and I can't
Yeah.
blame them for that because that's just. I know YouTube wants to have a subscription service, but there's no value proposition for paying for YouTube when you can just get most of their programming for free. Like, fuck, right? There's no reason.
Yeah.
So I can't. I honestly, I get what the Gen Z is doing because fuck it, I don't want to pay that much for all this shit. That's stupid.
Yeah. Like
And,
I'm getting mad thinking about all the stuff that I pay all these companies. And it's really nickel and diming because I can't remember the last time I've even watched something on Amazon Prime because I like
yeah,
yeah, and
Yeah.
so it's like I wish that there was a way where you could just have like a subscription where
Yeah.
it maybe builds you by minutes used or something and it maxed out. So like, like if I had an Amazon subscription, I could sign up and it charged me $1 a month up to $10 a month, right? Based off of
that'd
what
be
I watched. If
nice.
I binged,
Yeah.
like if I binged like Invincible, like they'd be like, okay, you got $5 worth of content out of this
Yeah,
because
I like this. Keep going.
yeah, no, because their major profit revenue is from advertisements, right? Like that's
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
all their money is advertisements.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind sitting through an ad here and there, like at the beginning of HBO, even though they promo their own stuff, which
I mean, Amazon does
doesn't.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't mind every once in a while watching a Geico commercial. It gets annoying when it's the same 8 Geico commercials back to back to back,
Paramount
or
Plus.
Liberty Mutual.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I would probably subscribe to every service if they had like a pay per use sort of thing that was maxed out at a dollar amount. Like, yeah, okay, Netflix, you're $15 a month max.
I mean,
If I watch $15 worth of content, that's fine. That's a DVD, right?
yeah, like, and I don't even know that I necessarily need the max, but if you could take it from $1 up to whatever they felt like their max was,
Yeah.
and just reserve your subscription on each one for $1 a month, and then if you actually happen to watch a certain amount of hours, they charge you a certain amount over that dollar, and that would be
Yeah.
fine. Because then I just sit on Netflix for 6 months at a time, waiting for the next Witcher thing to come out, and when it finally does, I would watch that, and I'd only pay $1 the rest of the time. And then I'd be sitting on
Yeah.
Apple TV and Hulu and all these. And then when I finally get around to watching something on one of them, I would do that. And of course, that would also mean do I really want to watch something on you now and spike my dollar, or is this random bullshit sitcom that I see that people have been halfway talking about but not really recommending really going to be
Right.
worth my time? I'd actually think
Yeah.
about it, but then I could just keep it reserved. Spend $8 a month on the months where I'm not watching much of anything because I'm watching my DVDs, because I always do. I like this idea. This is
Yeah.
a good idea. That's good.
I have them. And
Yeah.
that's why I became a business teacher, Mike.
But on the flip side, they want you to pay for their subscriptions. They want you to pay full price. But they also want
Yeah.
to keep you locked in and be like, well, you can't watch this anywhere else, to the point that they won't put anything out on fucking DVD anymore. You can't buy Prey.
Yeah.
I want Prey.
Oh, I would kill for Prey in
Right?
4K. Because what people still don't understand, which is why I buy some stuff on Blu-ray still, like if I really like it, or especially if it's an action movie, the 4K discs have higher quality in audio and video
Yes.
than anything you can stream. It says you're
Yes.
streaming in 4K, but I guarantee you it's not true 4K.
Plus,
It might be close.
if
but it's
Disney
not.
decides
It's
to
not it.
axe, if Disney decides to axe Hulu, let's just say that happens, or Disney sells Hulu to who is it? CBS is the other one with the stake in it. What happens to all the Disney content that's on there right now? Is that going to stay there? Do they get Prey? Does Prey just vanish into the ether, never to be seen again? If it doesn't come out on disc, how are we going to guarantee 5 years from now I can go watch Prey when I want to?
Yeah.
Can't. You just fucking can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we just stop bitching about this because it's just making me angry.
Me too. I'm like, oh, there's a better way out there, and I've discovered it. I'm going to email them all. We'll get them all together in a
Right?
room.
They need to listen to our podcast. We've figured out their business solution. This is how you make money, guys. Then you'll get money from everyone every month, and you just have to actually put out good content once in a while. Anyway, this has been Not So Life on Asteroid G. I'm Mike, $1 a month, think this time.
$1 a month? I don't know, man. That threw me off guard. I'm Josh, HBO Max Schaefer.
But you're not going to be HBO Max so much longer, Schaefer.
Nope.
And we will see you next time.